That's that's quite the introduction there. Man, Man, swig that Mountain Dew, man. Gosh, five things you should know from 103.9 The Fox, brought to you by Fick Landscape Supplies. And as we spring into the new season, it's time to get that driveway in shape with tons of driveway material, plus the finest topsoil, compost, and humus. Fick Landscape Supplies, 2 locations to serve you. Find out more at ficklandscapesupplies.com. Like us on Facebook. Now, let's get Fick and busy. Well, charges being filed against a Burton man who allegedly left the scene of a deadly crash in Flint Township 8 days ago. According to MLive, 55-year-old man from Burton is suspected of driving the vehicle that struck 46-year-old Tamala Menix of Flint near South Ballinger Highway and Miller Road just before 6 p.m., April the 22nd. Some protesters at Columbia University resisted yesterday's deadline set by school leadership to leave their pro-Palestinian encampment. Tensions have escalated at universities across the country as divestment from companies with links to Israel is one of the students' major demands at those nationwide protests that have happened lately. Britain's 75-year-old King Charles resumes public duties today, 2 months after revealing that he has been treated for cancer. National Highway Traffic Safety Administration has launched an investigation into Ford's automated driving system known as Blue Cruise, now that a pair of fatal crashes have been linked to that system. Spirit beat the London Knights last night 6-2 to cut the Knights' lead in the OHL Western Conference Finals to 2-1. Game 4 in that playoff series tomorrow night at the Dow Event Center at 7:05. Tigers game with the St. Louis Cardinals rained out last night. They're going to play a doubleheader this afternoon at Comerica Park, 3:40 p.m. The first pitch of the first game. And to cap this one off, we know the identity of a Powerball winner. No, not the one who bought the ticket in Grand Blanc for the New Year's Day drawing. Still don't know that one. But rather a man in Oregon whose ticket won $1.3 billion in last month's drawing. 46-year-old Cheng Sefan is an immigrant and cancer patient from Laos who had his latest chemo treatment just last week. Says he's going to use his new fortune to provide for his family and put some of it toward bettering his own health. That's 5 things you should know from 103.9 The Fox. Starting off generally overcast, but then we gradually turn bright and beautiful today with those early clouds being replaced by lots of sunshine and temperatures up around 68 with west winds at 7 to 15, gusting to 20 miles an hour at times. Clear skies tonight and 48, and then plenty more sunshine tomorrow, a bit warmer, topping out around 76. Thursday, kind of the same thing, lots of sun and 74. Right now it is 56 in Flint, and in Saginaw, 54.
Classic Rock Authority.
103.9. 103.9. The Fox. I think what's happened with my brain today is that I'm apparently channeling one of our regulars, Bobby Craiglow. And every time I say something, I hear Bobby's reaction to it in my head, and then I just say it.
It is TikTok Tuesday. Good morning, one and all. And here we go with a Foxhole Morning Show final day of April session. My name is Hal. The folks who join us on a regular basis on our traveling live streams are called Hal Raisers. Welcome in if you are new, and I'm going to bet you that 98% of you are going to be new people because TikTok pushed you here. That's their thing nowadays, rather than just let you just be satisfied with the stuff that's on your For You page because that's a little thing that you're narrowly interested in. They bring you here so that you can hang with us for a little bit and watch and listen to what's going on behind the scenes of a classic rock radio show from Flint, Michigan, USA, home of the formerly crappy water. I'm doing news and traffic, and for the next hour or so, I get to chat with those of you who show up and hang with us for as long as you can. Hopefully, you'll be able to do that for quite a while. We're here every Tuesday, and then we're at different spots on the live streaming map the rest of the week. Facebook on Mondays. Tomorrow, we're going to be on X Twitter. On Thursday, it's Instagram, and then Friday, we split it. Twitch and Facebook. We do a dual stream for those of you. Thanks for those who you are giving us gifts, roses. I feel like a bachelor here. I see people like Chris from New Mexico and City Boy Dan, who is from West Virginia. We call him American Dan. Good morning, fellas. All of those who are joining us for the first time with user numbers like, I missed the one that just now popped by me here. Tomcat is here. That I recognize. That's Packer fan. Elsewhere in our state of Michigan, which is where we are here. And I want to tell you what's distinctive about Michigan, apart from the fact that we throw a hell of a party for the NFL draft. We know that now. Lots and lots of things we're going to be able to get to here in the next little while. in addition to some of the, what we do is we just talk to you while the music and the ads are on, and then we're going to hear from our hosts, Johnny Burke and Steph Barber. They are several miles to my south in the main studio. I'm here in my news studio in my home studio. Mel, good evening to you. Mel is here. So is Jen. Ladies, welcome to both of you. Different parts of the world, different parts of the day. Mel is finishing up Tuesday. Jen's just kind of getting started in Minnesota there. She's actually an hour behind us, I believe. And Joanne is here. Good morning, Joanne. Let's find out if Johnny and Steph are here now.
3.9, the Fox, Flint's classic rock.
No, that's not. That's our big-voiced announcer. That's not Johnny. He sounds different than that. You'll hear from him in a bit. Here we go. This is the 30th of April. Believe it or not, the last day of the month of April. It's also National Honesty Day. Honestly, I'm glad to have you here to be able to smile at the face of our smile source, which I bring every single day from our 365 dogs calendar. And this particular dog, because I'm a big dog person, is Maggie. Maggie is a Labrador Retriever, Chesapeake Bay Retriever mix who lives in Ponca, Nebraska. This is Maggie. To get your Tuesday off to a smiling start. Maggie. Looks like my late pal Denver, except this is a female. And there's Tina from New Jersey. Aww, look at that. There you go. Morning, Tina. How's everything there? Gonna be beautiful here. A little bit cloudy, but not for long and not for very much. Dale is here from Navajo Nation in Arizona, where it's only 5:04 a.m. Probably pretty warm, too. We usually find our folks in Arizona that are usually sweating about this time of day. Sheila's here bringing the sunshine from Bay City, land of the four bridges, and occasionally a couple of them work. 76 today in Jersey. That's the forecast, and it's going to be sunny. The skies will be sunny all day. Cool. I'll get to the traffic here in a couple minutes, and then we'll do some other things as well. Copperboy joins us now. He is, we know him as Jason, our world traveler. Lives in Vegas. That's where he's based, but you usually find him in different parts of the country. Every day. Somewhere. Different. Do I have Taylor Swift's permission to be a radio personality? Asks Oa Tana Siam. No, but I'm getting more and more to the point where I feel like we need to have it on a daily basis. Everything she does seems to turn out right, so it's not a bad thing to kind of align with that vibe. You know? I wouldn't turn that down at all, to be able to be friends with her. Although we don't play any of her music here, we talk about her a fair amount because she just seems to be transcending anything and everything that is entertainment these days. Kevro's here from Wisconsin. Welcome and good morning to Kevro. And her boyfriend's having in fact, her boyfriend and his entire family are having a hell of a last couple of years. Travis Kelce, who of course, as you know, is Taylor Swift's boyfriend, just signed a new extension. He's deemed the best tight end now, and he's certainly the highest paid tight end in the NFL. His brother Jason just picked up I think it's a 2-year, $34 million deal to be on as one of the hosts of the Monday Night Countdown show on ESPN. We knew this was going to happen. He's just too good a broadcaster. Jason Kelce, you knew he was going to end up in the media somewhere on one of the networks, and ESPN snapped him up. So that's a good thing and a smart thing on their part. He can offer some insights. He's probably the most, he's certainly the most well-known center in maybe NFL history, because that is a completely anonymous position normally until he got a hold of it. I'm just happier than hell for that. Blah, 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 says Mr. Tony. Mr. Tony, did TikTok push you here against your will? Is that what happened? Is that what happened to you? And now you're here wondering, why the hell am I sitting here in the middle of this mess?
And it does look like tickets are still available for both shows at Soaring Eagle Casino and Resort.
Did I ever see the day, or think I would, where Howard Stern interviewed a sitting president. Howard Stern can interview anybody. He's got a pretty good interviewing technique. It's not cliche stuff.
Next chance, anyway. Your first one of the day. Coming up then. All right, so I just saw you as I was walking out in the hallway and saw you talking to the boss.
Yeah.
By any chance, did he say, hey?
No, he did not.
If he did, would you react to that? If he said, hey, would you hate that? Would you cringe?
No. I say hey.
All right, go ahead.
I say hey as a greeting to a lot of people during my day.
It's the most dreaded word heard at work.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Totally.
Hey. 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 Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey, you. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Hey. So apparently when you say hey to somebody, it triggers the flight or fight response because they figure the next thing out of your mouth is either going to be something
Hey,
they're
can
going to want
you
to
help me with?
Yeah, or
hey,
yeah.
can you do?
Exactly.
Yes.
So apparently you're not supposed to say hey too often, and of course when the boss says it has, for instance.
Kevro's got a subscription for his show. See, you don't have to pay to be here, Kevro. We don't make you pay anything to show up here. Nothing. Or to listen to our show, ever. We don't ever pay. We don't pay to do that.
Got a minute?
Yeah.
Hey, can you talk to me for a minute?
Yeah.
Hey, come on to my office.
Uh-huh.
Never a good word.
No, you're right.
Oh,
I will stop using it as a greeting then. You've brought that home to me again, yes.
according to the Wall Street
I'm sorry he's
Journal,
making you pay to hear him.
Talk about it at work today and say hey to a few people and see how they react. But anyway, that is part of the problem is the word hey.
Hey.
So keep it
It's
out
like
of your
starting a sentence with, you're going to hate me, but...
Yeah. Well, no, remember it was the movie Office.
Yes, Office Space.
Office Space with I forgot the character's name, the boss. You know, hey, I'm gonna need you to work this week.
Yeah, I do remember that now.
Yeah.
All right, maybe a generic hello might be better off, yes.
All right, good. Hey, we've got Aerosmith.
Ah!
Steve Driver rocks your workday. Listen and win with the
See, Tina's got it right. People that make you pay don't care about you. We do. That's the thing. If people complain about radio, radio is the coolest form of entertainment still out there because we don't make you pay to hear us. You can just jump in whenever the hell you want to. Listen and then leave. And you're no worse off for it. You're no poorer off for it. Telling you. Don't ever let anybody tell you that radio is kind of a passé thing. Not as long as it's as convenient as people love convenience. And there's nothing more convenient in entertainment than radio. You hop in your car, you punch up the dial, and right there, and you're not paying to hear it. Nobody's sending you a bill. Nobody's asking you to go paperless. We're just saying, jump in and listen to us whenever the hell you feel like it. And we'll entertain the hell out of you. That's all we tell you. That's all we do. Nice day in Arizona, says Dea. Who, are you in a cool part of Arizona? Navajo Nation somewhere different than Phoenix? Because every time Hot Jim jumps in from Phoenix, it's always 90 or 100. Every day. Nice and dry, but it's hot. We had a little bit of a debate on the air before the live stream started this morning regarding the relative benefits of hot versus cold. And I hit him, Johnny, the host, with that question that I usually hit you guys with to debate. If you're given only two choices for a temperature, listen to me now. You're given only two choices for a temperature, and we're working in Fahrenheit now because we have an international audience, but we're here in America not going to ever stoop to doing metric. We tried that once. It lasted for 3 months. Here's the thing. If you have only two temperature choices, 20 and 90, which one do you take? 20 or 90, which one do you take?
Especially when it comes to brakes. That's why Napa's
Let's see.
Silent Guard are built for quiet brakes on the market. Made with fiber-reinforced shims that eliminate noise for the life of the path. Rubber-coated hardware for a better fit, and quality design that meets and exceeds OE performance. Silent Guard brakes.
And we had a split decision in the studio. Johnny took 90 all day, all night. Steph went with the 20.
Traffic.
Tina's with Johnny.
Fox.
Vehicle City traffic.
Vehicle fire. This is going to be found on the ramp from southbound 75 to Dixie, a little bit north of there, actually, north of southbound 75 to Dixie, the ramp in Grand Blanc Township. Also, that's a result of a crash, so that's also going to be tangled as a result of that as well. The city of Davison, State and Bay Streets. State Street and Bay Streets, we got a crash reported there. In Flint, Holbrook Avenue east of North Street, they're still cleaning up a crash there. We did have a deer crash in Flint earlier this morning on Saginaw Street south of 12th, and that's still a problem. The deer is still there. And in Burton, Belsey Road north of Bristol, a crash there in the cleanup stages. If you spot other traffic troubles, we invite you to call us and encourage it at 810-230-WRSR. That's 810-230-9777 and 24/7. Look for that Vehicle City traffic info from ClassicFox.com/traffic. Be a traffic tipster right here on 103.9 The Fox.
I mentioned earlier that I think my brain was taken over by Bobby Craiglow this morning.
Yeah.
What's happening here? And here's proof positive. Bobby just wrote in our chat window on the 103.9 The Fox Facebook page where you can watch our live streaming video and chat online with us. He says that we were talking earlier about the guy who kept his mom's cremains in his car in a cup in the cup holder.
Yes.
Well, Bobby writes, it sounds a little off to me. Not that the fact that he kept the cremains in his car, the fact that he kept it in the cup holder is the odd part. Should be more like me and keep your family's cremains in the ashtray.
Bobby.
Yeah, I told you.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, that's what's happening. He's taking over my brain.
I guess. Traffic, a service of Fick Landscape Supplies. As we spring into the new season, it's time to get
Black Sheep says 90. John says 90. We call him 4 around here. He's one of the regular Hal Raisers. Tina was a 90.
Find out more at FickLandscapeSupplies.com. Like them on Facebook. And now let's get busy with Van Halen on the Fox.
I'm still 20. If it's just those two, 20. All day, every day. I can dress for 20. I can't dress comfortably for 90. You can't take off enough legally in the United States if it's 90 and be comfortable. But 20, I can deal with. As long as the drive. The only thing about winter that doesn't make it rank higher up on my list of preferred seasons is the fact that it makes for treacherous driving in our state of Michigan, and probably in many of your states as well. I would think that it's not a big problem in Arizona, but certainly in Michigan and some of the northern states where snow is a factor, that's going to make it a problem. So you know. You asked me this last week, but can I whistle? Yes, I can. Cindy, good morning. Kathy's here. She just joined us. Good morning to Kathy, who has joined us. Yeah, we got a bunch of heat worshipers around here, it appears. Sheila's another 90 voter. 90. Well, your time's coming. Your time is coming. We are now more regularly residing in the 70s here. So it looks like winter is back behind us finally in the rearview mirror for those who don't like it. I don't love it, but I'd rather it be cooler because, again, I can deal with that more so than I can deal when it becomes 90. And you'll see that if you're with us when we get here and it's like late July, early August around here and it becomes 90 and humid this time of the morning, because down here in my Hal Hole studio, it is really, really uncomfortable when it gets to be really warm and humid outside. And it's going to be that way here. And I'll be red-faced and I'll look like I'm going to pass out. I won't. People have threatened to call 911 in the past because it gets so hot down here, because it does. We don't have central air down here, so I have to deal with a little bit of fan, and I can't have the noise when the microphone is on. So that becomes an issue. Black Sheep can handle the hot and cold, just want sunshine. Where are you looking in from, Black Sheep? Where are you located? What part of the country are you in? By the way, apparently Tina's the black sheep of her family. Jeez. Oh, you're Caro. Oh, gee, okay. That's fine. That's fine. I know people from Caro. We've been acquainted over the years. In fact, somebody who used to live in Caro that lives in Northern Virginia now. Mr. Barry. Good morning, Mr. Barry. Good to see you, and Big Kahuna as well. Good to see you. And by the way, thanks to all of you who follow us now that you've joined us and want to hang here on a little more regular basis, hopefully you will. And tell your friends. Tell your friends we're here. That's the reason why it's kind of, from Ohio. What part of Ohio? Used to work in southeastern Ohio once upon a time. Here's Johnny and Steph once again from the warm studio.
Crazy train day around here. I want to just quickly get through this set because my chef Boyardee's beefaroni is calling me. But I can't wait. I'm sorry. Oh, and Rob Sporsick writes, well, that's when he's talking about the cremains.
Northeast Ohio. Okay, cool.
Bobby Craiglow in the chat window here on our 103.9 The Fox Facebook page. Rob says that's only common sense. You know, put your relatives' ashes in the ashtray. You wouldn't put a Slurpee in the ashtray, so why would you put ashes in the cup holder? Slow down and think, people. Wow, you guys are on a roll here this morning about these ashes. Who was it we were talking about? Timothy Leary's ashes. Weren't they supposed to go to the moon or something like that? Are they going to on this next flight or something?
They might be.
Something weird like that. I know that.
But you called them cremains?
They're called cremains. Yeah.
I'd never heard that before.
Oh yeah,
It's brilliant.
Yeah,
Is it freezing in Ohio now?
I was going to give you
I'm
credit.
pretty sure
Or am I freezing? Is the transmission? Because yesterday was terrible. We were on Facebook yesterday. My internet was super slow. I don't know what the hell was going on. Today it's a completely different day. It's like I'm on a different planet as far as the performance of the internet, and hopefully the transmission is smooth. Yesterday was just awful on Facebook. Terrible.
The car got stolen, and the cremains were returned apparently to the guy's mailbox. The Dodge Charger, not so much, but
Good now. Okay.
he got his mom's ashes back. But I was questioning why you would put them in the cup holder.
Right.
And Bobby just said, "Well, put them in the ashtray then." It's 7:20 here, and that's a little nasty.
Yeah, that is, actually, Bobby.
Yeah, but then again, we've come to expect that.
You're right.
By the way, a lot of people that tune into us on our streaming video are from all around the world and all around the United States. And one of them, Steve Steffen, just says good morning from Florida to us just now, rubbing it in again. 7:20. Well, the weather today isn't all that bad.
I was going to say, what are you crabbing about?
Well, it's going to be sunny and breezy and 68. I'm pretty sure it's a little better than that down there. But, but they've been all winter long. All of our Florida listeners, in many cases, former Michigan listeners, have been rubbing it in. So I will see you one of these days. What we ought to do is keep watching for the hurricane warnings at Steve Steffen's house.
Yes.
Make sure we bring it up. 7:21.
Yeah, we have enough people from Florida who watch us both on the studio feed and also here. By the way, you can, if you'd like, and you've never heard of our station before, or you've never been party to some of what this experience is. If you have Facebook and are one of those who like Facebook, go to the 103.9 The Fox Facebook page, and you can watch the live stream that Johnny and Steph have going from the studio right now, and then you can watch them. You can't hear any of the music because they have to keep their studio speakers down, otherwise Facebook slaps them because you can't have copyrighted material on the air, and so they have to watch that. But you can hear them in discussion when they forget that the cameras are on in the studio, and occasionally will say stuff that maybe shouldn't necessarily be said, around the world, but they do it anyway. Beautiful in Ohio today. Beautiful today in Ohio, reports Mr. Barry from Northeast Ohio. Yeah, I worked in Southeast Ohio decades ago. Much more mountainous, I found, over there. You had a train crash in Gallup, New Mexico. Really? A train crash. What was going on with that? We had one here, like a half a block from me. We have a train track that goes right by here. I've been fortunate in that we don't normally have trains go by at this time of the morning. It's rarely it's happened, but rare in 7 years that we've been on this station. Hang on, see what they're doing. Music is what they're doing. And we did have a situation here about a month and a half ago where at about 8:30 at night, we had a woman who had been drinking a little. No, she'd apparently been drinking a lot. She, at about 8:30 at night, decided she was going to just stop on the railroad track. Just flat stop on the railroad track. 8:30 at night. and a train was coming. And the train hit her vehicle and pushed it all the way 2 blocks up the road. And she was fine. The car got crushed, but she was fine. She was drunk, so they threw her in jail. But she was fine other than that. It was nuts. So that kind of thing can happen. It was right here. It was right up the street. In fact, this has become the event capital, the newsworthy event capital of the country over the past month. We had that happen. We had an overnight break-in at a jewelry store. Just a few days later, we had a triple slaying involving a police officer and, well, the officer wasn't, but the people that were involved, it was a police call that turned out to be 3 fatalities, all through gunshots. And then just a few days later, an armed robbery at a drugstore, which is right here down the street. I can throw a baseball from here to there. All of that just within the past month, starting with that train crash. So Gallup, New Mexico may end up being the site of more newsworthiness late in the next few days. So watch out. Never know. We're talking about traffic. We're talking about right now. We've got, actually, it's for a day that's got beautiful weather. We actually have a pretty busy day. The only thing that happened, we have a deer got hit by a car and it's out there on the road. But other than that, we got in crashes, several more than we normally would this time of the morning. What we didn't get was zebras on the loose, and that has happened in North Bend, Washington, which is out near Seattle. 4 of them got loose from their trailer just, a day or 2 ago. 3 of them got captured, 2 of them with assistance from rodeo professionals, no less, that were needed. But 1 of them is still missing. Still missing. Hey there, Swim Joe Swim. Trooper Rick Johnson, who's the public information officer of the Washington State Patrol District 2, posted photos of these zebras on X Twitter, where we will be live streaming tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Eastern. He wrote, "This is a first for me and all hashtag Washington State Patrol troopers involved. 4 zebras that were being transported got loose when the driver stopped to secure the trailer eastbound 90 to exit 32. The community has come together to help. 1 cornered, 3 outstanding." Don't tell you deer, don't. Well, you know what is crazy is this is in this. We had one hit today. It's in the city of Flint. Okay, this is not in the rural area. This is in the city of Flint, home of the formerly crappy water, and apparently the occasional deer traipsing through. That's what happened. Crazy. We have a lot of stuff going on in Michigan. You know what else we have going on in Michigan? In addition to this NFL draft, which was a booming success, 750,000 people came out for this 3-day fiasco that was nothing more than a game of choose up sides that used to happen on the playground back when kids used to be not with their noses in their phones or their tablets. They were actually out forming groups to play baseball and football. And in order to form those teams so that they could play these games, because there was a lot of kids out there to do it, you had to choose up, say, baseball and football. And in order to form those teams so that they could play these games, because there was a lot of kids out there to do it, you had to choose up, say, baseball and football. And in order to form those teams so that they could play these games, because there was a lot of kids out there to do it, you had to choose up 3 days to watch this thing go on, this NFL draft, and the entire league was just aghast.
They don't have ashtrays in cars anymore.
Yeah, I know. Good point by you.
Oh, that is true. You're right.
Yeah, well, I think Craig Lowe's got an old car.
He has to have.
Yeah. Time for you to stop in at Susky and see me, Bobby.
But besides this business about the NFL draft that we had, Morning Kittery, Maine. Used to live in Scarborough, just outside Portland when I was working in Portland once upon a time. Gorgeous state, gorgeous state. I think I was in Kittery for a short bit. at one point. That was on our radio network. Here's the thing. Michigan is now a national outlier for its number of major power outages since the year 2000. A new report from nonprofit research and communications group Climate Central found this information out. Electricity outages are going to become more common as extreme weather events, mainly driven by climate change, wreak havoc on the country's aging power infrastructure. I can't read today. Outages and lengthy restoration times can cost the economy billions of dollars, and while the South and Southeast have experienced the most extreme weather-related power outages during the past 2 decades, Michigan, with 174 major power outages, has experienced more of them than any state other than Texas, where there were 264. 90.2% of the local outages were attributed to extreme weather, while southern states like Alabama and Georgia blame outages on extreme weather nearly 99% of the time. We have different reasons, not just the extreme weather. We have all kinds of other problems with our power grid. The states with the most reported weather-related significant power outages during the 23-year time frame were Texas, Michigan, California, North Carolina, and Ohio, according to that report. Researchers found that long-duration outages, which most frequently affected socially and medically vulnerable populations, tended to occur in Arkansas, Louisiana, and Michigan. You are, Kittery, raising your 13th service dog soon from Canine Companions for Independence. That's awesome. That's awesome. 13th service dog from Canine Companions for Independence, Kittery, Maine. Beautiful. That's awesome. How long does it take to train a dog to become service dog material? Approximately. Every dog is a little bit different, I'm sure, but what about average is the time you can expect to have to spend to train a dog from knowing nothing, from like a puppy stage or whenever you start, to being able to make it available as a service dog to someone? 2 years on average.
Their date
Okay.
is July 16th at Pine Knob.
Right.
It's the same night that Pat Benatar is at Meadowbrook.
Ah,
2 female classic
powerhouse
rockers.
females, yeah.
How cool is that?
Yeah, really. But anyway, like I was saying, though, the Florida listeners
Yes.
and our Michigan friends who have places in Florida are screaming bloody murder. And Friday morning, we'll probably dedicate the Friday morning private scream right now.
Why are they screaming?
Because apparently weeks now before hurricane season is about to get underway, insurance companies